Okay, well, good afternoon, everyone. It is nice to be here on another Friday afternoon with our author spotlight of this week. I am excited to have our newest international best-selling author, Miss Laurie Sullivan, gracing our platform with her success and her beautiful face. We
Mhm.
are so happy about the success of this ebook that launched last Wednesday.
Yes.
And we can't wait to get into the conversation with Laurie and her book, a unique title. As you are coming in the group, please drop your name in the chat. Let me know where you are watching us from so that I can say a proper hello to you. We're broadcasting on my personal Facebook page, our Books to Business and Beyond Facebook group, and YouTube. So, anywhere you are watching us from at this point, we are happy to have you and cannot wait to get into this conversation. Hello, Lynette. It is so nice to see you. I love you. You are next, girl. You are next. We got to get you on this platform to talk about your upcoming anthology. So, before I introduce it to my beautiful friend, Miss Laurie, I want to take a moment to just say who I am. If you're just joining this page or this broadcast, or you've never seen me before, I'm Joan T. Randall, the founder of Victorious You Press. I'm an independent publisher. I help take the guesswork out of the writing process, the fear out of publishing, and I empower individuals to use the pen and deliver their message, their purpose, their excellence to the marketplace so that they can create legacies and help them get multiple streams of income. So that's what we do over here on Victorious You Press. I'm also the creator of Books to Business and Beyond, where we show you how to use your book and turn it into a whole bunch of other stuff, even a documentary, if you so want to do that, right? And so I am happy to have my friend, Miss Laurie Sullivan, here. And so, Laurie, I'm going to turn it over to you so you can say hello to the people and tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm here as an author. Lifelong dreams come true, especially when you bump into Joan T. Randall. So I want to say I can see some comments. I don't know if I see them all. So thank you, Lynette and Jacqueline. And Facebook user from Corey, PA, is actually a character in the book.
Ooh.
So shout out to you, sister. Um, yes. So what a journey. I spent 32 years as a high school English teacher, taught in New York State. So I'm certified there, Missouri, and in the state of Maine because traveled around. And also taught in Shanghai, China. So shout out to my Chinese colleagues who downloaded this book. Go SMIC, Katie, I love you. Um, so I did all that teaching, and then I retired last June, and I do tutor online in China, some AB classes and prepping some students to come to America to go to boarding school. Brave little things that they are. Um, but all through this year in retirement, my first year of retirement, I got to pen my story. Um, Unearthed some things, some memories. And I just want to, I do want to throw that out there. Writing will do that. And I knew that going in, like intellectually. Oh, writers unearth things. Well, now I know it here because there has been a measure of suffering from unearthing those memories. And now, when people say to me, Laurie, you're brave, or Laurie, you're courageous to write your story, such a story that it is, I can hear them better because the journey was difficult and there are some aftershocks that happen. But is it worth it? Yes, my darling readers, it is.
Yeah.
because Joan had said to me, Laurie, once you write this, the story is outside of you and it lives in the world for the women who need it.
Yeah.
That has been my prayer all my years. God, let me use the pain
Yes.
for some good purpose.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I am so happy. So here's a question that I want to ask you. How did you get connected to me? Or so the people can know, because I know how you got connected to me. But tell the people how you got connected to me, because this story is unique.
Is it?
Yes.
I knew what my title was for my book. And my first thought was, I wonder if anyone has had that title. Has anyone chosen Married by Myself? So I began a Google search to find those words together in a book. And there was nothing that I could find. You know, my mere humble, I'm 60 years old and I'm doing a search. You know, I'm sure maybe one of my children could have found something, but I found nothing that said Married by Myself. I've seen Married to Myself, and there's a lot of conversation about that, several books that have been written, but Married by Myself, no. But so I put in a little bit more information than Married by Myself to see if anyone had written a book similar with similar content. And I found a book. I can't even remember it now. It's shameful. I need to go back and look. I found a book that was about feeling very alone in a marriage. And I thought, I clicked on it. And then I clicked into Amazon and I was like, now who published you? And I saw Victorious U Press.
Shout out to Amazon.
And I thought, now who is that? Joan T. Randall. Let's just look her up. And I did. I read everything I could find online. Who is this woman? What is she doing? Rocking the world in North Carolina. And she publishes books. And I'm telling you out there, when she personally spent an hour in a conversation with me, talking to just me about just my book, I have reached out to publish things in the past. Never, never.
Wow.
That personal attention. She knows the name of my book. She knows me. She gave me the gift of her time before I said I want to be an author, and awesome, awesome. And she she gave me hope. She gave me hope.
I love that. That is so touching to me. That you said you read everything about me, and just that, that personalized attention. And I'll tell you this: the very first person we officially published on Victorious U Press, that is exactly what she said. I told her we're gonna have an award probably next year called the Patricia Winpayne Award, because that was the first person I officially published when I launched a publishing company. And that was what she said. After I was done publishing her book, she said, Joan, never lose that personal touch.
Right.
That is the difference with your
Mhm.
organization, because you know my name, you know my story. I could speak to you, although you are the founder of the company. And she said, that's the difference.
Mhm.
So because you say that, it just reminded me of why I chose to do this in the first place. So I remember that very first conversation we had. I remember being just like blown away by your story. But then you paused and you kind of put it to the side. And I didn't hear from you for like, I don't know, 10 months or so. What
Mhm.
was the pause for? Because people that might be listening or watching the replay will do that, right? They get
Mhm.
the courage to write their story, and then they start it, and then it dig up some buried things that they have to face,
Mhm.
and it scares them, and then they pause. Why was the reason for your pause?
My only reason was financial.
Okay.
Um, my son, shout out to the youngest, was getting married that year. And so I thought, got to pay attention to flying to the boy, and doing the mom wedding things. So I used that time
Mm-hmm.
um, to start writing, because here's what I thought. I thought, oh, I want to publish quickly. Once I enter that contract with Jonah, I want these things to move. Um, so I used the time to start the writing, and I also used the time to do a Zoom conversation with the three children who are from that marriage. They are grown, married with their own children, living successful, but most importantly, godly lives. They
Amen.
are leading their families. They adore their spouses. They are good fathers. And I'm not just saying it from my perspective. I've had some notes and letters and Facebook posts from my daughter in laws, um, that all of them have said, honestly, to me, thank you for raising the man of my dreams.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, people out there, when you go through the darkness in the swamp, and as a mom, you are incredibly concerned about your kids.
Yeah.
Um, God is so faithful, so faithful. I mean, yes, I was a praying mom. Yes, I was conscious of it. But there are things that are not in the mom control,
Right.
which, is in the second book. Um,
Yes.
things not in the mom control area. But anyway, God has been good. I wanted to talk to my sons who were intelligent, educated men who walked this journey from a different perspective. So in that time, I had a Zoom conversation with the guys and their girls, and I said, what I was so nervous. I wrote about talking to my own children about telling the story. I wrote myself notes. Not notes. I wrote the actual paragraph. So I said, "Hi, thanks for coming on the Zoom. I'm just going to read this." And so I read what I wanted to say because I didn't want to like go all around the world, get emotional as I'm capable of. So I read my statement to them about what I wanted to do, and I asked for their blessing, and there wasn't even hesitation. So in
Yeah.
that waiting time, I did a couple of things that needed to be done.
Yeah. I love that. And we also reached out to check on you in that waiting time.
Yes, you did. Um, I got an email asking, how was your son's wedding?
Yes.
Hope it went well. Are you still thinking of publishing? And uh, the answer was yes, yes, I am, and I'm working on it. So
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So when you said I'm ready, I was like, wow. And that's one of the things too, as a business owner, no matter what your business is, right? Sometimes when people say no, it's not necessarily no, just not at this time,
mhm.
or another opportunity will come down the road. So, what we do a lot of times when people will come and do the consultation and said, I love what your product is, I love what you have to offer, but then we don't hear from them again. We always like to send a little note to say, hey, thinking about you, wonder if you're still excited about your author journey. We would love to talk to you. Or if not, kind regards or something like that. So we
Mhm.
always try to reach out because sometimes people just want to know you care, right? You care
Yes.
about them and their story. And so we were excited to send. And when we got your response that you're, and I remember the day when you said, Joan, I'm ready. I'm just like, oh my God, she's ready. We get that all the time. People just say, it's today. I'm in. Send me the contract. I'm ready, right? And that was the same thing with you. Tell us about the reason for the title, because just so everybody that's watching know, and welcome to all the replay viewers, for those of you that will watch this on replay, the title of this book is Married by Myself, We still have the ebook available on Amazon, so you can still get the ebook. We just approved, and we finally, I think it was yesterday, got the approval for the whole paperback. So for those of you who have pre-ordered the book from Laurie, the paperback is coming, and it is
Woohoo!
beautiful. It is really, really beautiful. Tell us about, so the title is Married by Myself, but talk about the subtitle, because seeing Married by Myself is one thing. You're thinking, oh yeah, that means that you're in a marriage, but you feel like you're alone. But the subtitle was totally was a game changer.
Yeah.
Talk about the subtitle.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but I said to you, I feel like I lived a parallel life. It wasn't, I mean, yes, I was alone through this whole marriage. So the married by myself thing was something that came to me as when I was reflecting, and I was like, oh, I feel so alone. I feel so alone. And I thought, honestly, when I look back, I was alone, in ways, spiritually alone. I was emotionally alone. I was socially alone. I was isolated kind of from other people and speaking freely to other people, even though I was a minister's wife and I was in the public eye, but there was this binding fear of what not to say in a public space. So, and that's how I got the married by myself part. I thought, in reality, even though there was this covenant before God, there was this legal document in the United States of America. I was alone. Yeah, as a human and parented very much alone.
Yeah.
So that's where that came from. And then in conversation with Joan, because it's great to have conversation with Joan. It's like she's done this a time or two. And she asked the right questions, which is a sign of a good teacher, Joan. Ask the right questions, right?
Yeah.
Because it brings it forth. And so when I said, I feel like I live some parallel life, I had for years described that because through the years, I had found out, oh, this happened. And then I'll have a parallel memory. Let's say it's 4th of July. I'll think, oh, 4th of July when little Josh was 3, you know? And then I'll find out something that happened. And I think, oh, I thought this was oh.
Yeah.
I remember that memory and that date and that time and the people and the events, but I never knew that a parallel life was running at the same time in the background with a narcissist.
Yeah.
Somebody said it's always good to have a conversation with Joan. Yes, just call her, even if you're not going to publish. No, I'm just kidding. But when I said parallel life, you said with a man hiding behind the cloth. And, as an English teacher, word person, I was like all over that. Like,
yes,
roadkill,
yeah,
vultures on roadkill. I thought, yes, the symbolism and the metaphor of man behind the cloth. Oh, yes, that's a very concise way to say this is a minister and he is hiding behind his ministerial
robe
and the role of that.
Yes,
I am living some bizarre parallel existence with this person.
Yeah. I remember after hearing the story, and I was asking you, just tell me how you feel. And you talked about, like you were living this parallel life. Everything just dropped in my spirit. I got it. And I said, I got it. And I wrote it. And then I told you what it was. And you just says, oh my God, yes.
That's it. That's it.
That was it. That was it.
Yeah.
I love how the Holy Spirit drops stuff in me as I'm, and that's what also makes Victorious You Press a little bit different, is that I get these downloads when I'm speaking to a client, even in a consultation. Right. Like there are times when I'll say that is not the right title. and people look at me and say, what is she talking about? But that's because I'm hearing something different. You know what I mean? So I'm so glad you were receptive to that and you used it. And as I was telling you behind the scenes earlier, that I had friends who bought the book because of the subtitle.
Yeah.
Because of the subtitle.
It's
All
so
right.
intriguing.
It's very intriguing. So I want to say congratulations to Laurie. I want to put the Bitly. So it's still available on Amazon. You can feel free to download it. It's bit.ly/MBYM, which is married by myself. It's just a shortening, 2023. So that's what that is, right? So if you put that, I know, right? So if you click on the link that we have at the top of our chat, bit.ly/M by M, which is married by myself, 2023, you will still be available to get the ebook to read it. So what I love about this book is you made the international best-selling list because of all the sales outside of the country. So congratulations on that. And she made bestseller, #1 bestseller in 7 categories, and #1 hot new release in 7 categories. And some of the categories were religious intolerance, women's spirituality, dysfunctional relationships, divorce, spiritual warfare, self-help for abuse, persecution, and dysfunctional families. I just named 8. So, and I'm sure if we were digging deeper, we would be on some top 50 list somewhere else, but I pulled just the #1 in all of those categories. And
Joan, we're on Goodreads.
yes, ma'am. That is the ultimate place to be. Listen,
my daughter-in-law told me.
Yeah, if you can get your book into Goodreads, oh my God, because not only do they also will do your, what do you call it, when they go to Amazon and leave a review. All right, so for every person who bought this book, and Jacqueline said congratulations to you, welcome to the authorship ground, but for everyone that has gotten this book, if you have read it, go leave a review. The book is powerful. It is powerful. Oh my God. You want to get it because I remember us working through, it is so funny. I mean, this whole story, your relationship, your partnership with me is so amazing because last year you were part of the Power of the Pen retreat.
Yes.
And we brainstorm your opening in the retreat.
During the retreat.
The retreat.
Oh, so worthy.
Retreat. I mean, Laurie literally told the group how she was going to start her chapter. And people were saying, if you start it that way, I'm going to buy it. It's just, we're buying this book just because of the opening, the hook, right? So, and that also, that community of being able to say that in front of a bunch of people, for them to give you the feedback as to how powerful your opening chapter and the hook was amazing. So the Power of the Pen retreat is coming back again, the first weekend in November. You want to be there. And this year we're doing a VIP in-person event. So I'm so excited about that. Yep. And we're having a white party for the VIP. Yeah, a white dinner party. But outside of that, so Laurie, what would you want? 2 things that I want you to do. I want you to just share with the audience what they can get from the book, and then if you can read an excerpt from one of your pages, maybe the opening line or the opening paragraph would be great.
Okay. May I ask to audience, Joan, can we put in my website?
Yeah, sure.
Into the chat. Yeah. Victorious Anyway. Come on, girls. That's how we're going to live this thing.
Anyway.co.
Yes, victoriousanyway.co. I built it myself, going to need the help of my talented children to clean it up. But it is an author speaker site. And then on Facebook, if you want to follow me on Facebook, I have a separate site called Victorious, Anyway. So Follow me on Facebook, Victorious Anyway, and victoriousanyway.co.
All right.
Um, okay. Oh no, the Orkin man is here. He's going to ring the doorbell. Um, can life be more real? All right. So, what was your first question? I'll read
My
the
first question was to tell the audience what they can get from the book.
All right. This is a wretched story.
Yeah.
It's raw and it's awful what happened. And that we don't want to dwell on. We want to look at it. We want to call it what it was. We want to be redeemed by the blood of Jesus Christ about it. And we want to live victorious anyway. Yeah. So the tone of this story, my sister who read the first couple of chapters for me said, Laurie, don't lose the tone of joy. And Joan focused on that as well. And now the doorbell is ringing. So it's just me here. Be right back.
All right. That is what happens in real life when you are doing live. That's the thing about Facebook Live. It's not pre-planned. It's not pre-recorded. It is all about live. So things like that happen.
Yeah, right through here. And that door there.
Do you want me to check with you when I'm done? Or?
Yeah, that'll be fine. I'll be done shortly. Okay, so this proves, we're real people. Yes. And in America. Okay. I think I want to read so that you get the tone of joy from the introduction. But I will start with that paragraph that the pen retreat. Guys, if you've written a book, it doesn't matter. Go to that retreat. I mean, the community of writers is powerful. Yeah, it's powerful, and it's so many great people speaking into your life who have competence. So, there's my brief commercial. Here's chapter 1. Here's that first paragraph. Bottom line: I was married to a pedophile, a sexual.
That's the first sentence, y'all. That is the first sentence. Oh my God, that's crazy.
So it is attention getting. Yes. Bottom line, I was married to a pedophile, a sexual predator, a porn addict. To make all of it more bizarre, he was a youth minister. I wish I could say that there was a moment when I clearly understood the facts and promptly took action. However, there were so very many moments of suspicion, gray areas, moments when I thought I saw A, but he explained it away. Created enough doubt that I questioned my own sanity. I know what that is now. Gaslighting. I lived in it for 9.5 years. Got out with my marbles intact. I attribute that to a real God. I had called Jesus Christ my Savior and refuge since I was 4 years old and had learned to ask him about everything.
Wow. Okay. Listen. That is how that book started. And I know you're going to want to know. And she has a book too, because book 1 is the beginning of the story. Book 2 is the after part of certain things. So, but that is this book. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's called Married by Myself, Living a Parallel Life with a Man Hiding Behind the Cloth. Mm-hmm. That is this book. And we are excited to bring it to you. We're so happy. Anything, Laurie, that you want to leave the audience with as we wrap up this author spotlight?
I'm grateful that the pain has purpose. My dearest desire is that this book reach the hands of the women who need the healing. So I would ask everyone to gift it. Yeah. It's not a long read, but it's a hopeful read. And hope is something we could sure use. And this is a subject not spoken about in the church world, even in 2023. And that needs to change. We need to say the words out loud, and we need to heal, all of us. We all need to heal. And to understand that the body of believers is not some, perfected crowd. We're in healing and we're on our way home. So let's go together and share the story with people, and all of us determined to live victorious anyway.
Yes. I love it. I love it. This was fantastic. What a joy it was to speak to you. You bring energy and you bring spunk, and you are victorious in all of this.
Mhm.
This was a devastating story. Like while you were in it and while you were heard and figured out and whatever else happened, right? But we're so happy that through this pain, your sons are great, your kids are great, your in-laws are great, and God has truly delivered you. And so we're excited to bring this to you, to bring this book to the world. So if you're here with us, we would love for you to go ahead and purchase a copy of Married by Myself from Laurie Sullivan. Laurie, it is a pleasure. It is an honor to be your friend, to be your partner. Thank you for trusting me with your book. Thank you for trusting me with the words that you penned. We don't take it lightly when somebody says, I want you to publish your book. And I hope we did as good of a job as you expected, or even better. All right.
Exceedingly.
All right. I love it. I love it. All right, guys. That's it for us on this episode of Author Spotlight with Laurie Sullivan. Thank you for joining us. For those of you who are hanging out with us today, thank you so much. And we look forward when we can bring another author on a Friday afternoon.
Mhm.
You press on Author Spotlight. And with that said, see you around. God bless you. Bye, guys.
Bye.